be told, every champion has felt it. Every president has felt it. Every king has felt it. Every lion has felt it. Every winner has felt it. Every soldier has felt it. Every victorious person has felt it. The urge to commit.
Crossroads, life's tolls, life goes. I gotta win. W my lockdown. You can't rewind.
All right. We are here for Heart-Centered Fridays with your girl, Sonia, the Quantum Liberator. And I am here to talk to you guys today about regulated versus dysregulated attraction in love. And so let me make sure. I'm actually going live on five different platforms right now. Technology is interesting. So I'm on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, and I even have my phone up here for TikTok because I was doing it separately, but now I'm like, why didn't I just do it at the same time? But here we go. All right. So basically, this is for this is talking about nervous. I'm talking about your nervous system when I say regulated versus dysregulated attraction in love. Whether our nervous system is regulated or dysregulated, because most of us grow up in dysregulation because our households were dysregulated and it passed on to us. So basically, who you're attracted to has less to do with chemistry and everything to do with your nervous system. So attraction is not random. Attraction is conditioned. Love is filtered through regulation, not desire. And so what dysregulated attraction feels like, it's basically survival-based bonding, trauma bonding. If you guys have ever heard that, that's when it's because we had parents who were constantly dysregulated, distracted. They were not in the present moment with us. And that caused some type of survival stress reaction in our bodies as well. Because when a child doesn't get what they need as far as connection goes, they start to go into survival mode. You know, our body protects us and actually does the thing it needs to do to stay alive, basically, survive. You know, it's not healthy. We survived our childhood. I know that's how my childhood was, where I just survived it because I literally felt no connection from my parents, either one of them. I will say I might have felt a bit of a connection with my dad more so when I was young, but there was a moment where he basically became more in his own head than present. And so I didn't feel his presence, even though he was physically there. So I literally felt like I lost a father. If you've felt the connection from a parent and then it goes away because of their own distractions in their mind and body being dysregulated. So common sensations. This is stuff you can feel in your body because your body is always trying to tell you, it tells you subtly, but it's always telling you common sensations for a dysregulated body is basically butterflies or anxiety and feeling an urgency, feeling an obsession, feeling the highs and the crashes, the hyper focus on potential. You know, a lot of us do that. We focus on the potential, the potentiality spirals of another person, not where they're actually at. So difficulty resting around them. If you're very, what's that called? You know what I mean? If you're difficulty resting around them, like restlessness. Yeah, restlessness is what I'm trying to get at. But this is something that I used to feel growing up. Like if I was attracted to somebody and I felt butterflies or this obsession where like, oh, I have to be this ride or die, like all of that stuff is coming from a wound. That's coming from dysregulation. So Basically, an internal narrative could be, oh, I feel alive. This feels intense. You can feel this intense attraction, and that's usually that means that it's unhealthy. It's dysregulation. I can't stop thinking. Oh, that I can't stop thinking about them loops. Yeah, I've been in that many times, and I know you guys have too, where you just can't stop thinking about the person, and all you do is think about them, and you guys are texting and call each other all the time. All of that is coming from dysregulation and wounds. And so here's the truth bomb. Dysregulated attraction. I have my notes right here to keep me on track. So here's the thing. So dysregulated attraction feels exciting because the nervous system mistakes familiar. The nervous system mistakes familiar stress for love, because that's what we learned love was growing up. We didn't learn love to be calm, and we learned that love means being yelled at, being hit, just the constant back and forth. One day you're in a good mood, the next day you're in a bad mood, or even from one moment to the next. Like all that dysregulation is what most of us learned growing up. And so we mistake it, our bodies mistake that for love. And that's why we attract these people into our life. And we can't even blame it on these people, because we're attracting it as well. Like if we're attracted to that person and they're attracted to us, it's because we both came from dysregulated homes. So I can't even say we can all try and put the blame on other people and say, oh, that person is toxic, but we attracted the toxicity because of our wounds. So it's not about blaming, it's not about shaming, none of that. It's about taking full responsibility for ourselves and teaching our own bodies the difference between regulation and dysregulation. Actually teaching our bodies teaching our bodies what safety looks like. And that's something that I've had to do basically all year. Last year, I was digging deep, figuring out what my patterns were, what my wounds were, and just digging deep into myself. And, I'm still learning. I'm still learning my patterns. I'm still even, I've gotten to the point now where I've regulated my system well enough to be able to see, I basically don't project anymore. I used to project, and I can't say that I won't ever project again. I'm just able to catch myself when I project, and I'm able to stop myself and pause. And that pause is everything, because once you pause and you start to see other people's projections, you stop looking from the lens of your wound. When you pause, that's when you find clarity, and then you're able to see that they're actually projecting from their wound. And so if you're the one that's able to regulate yourself and pause in these conversations, these heated conversations, then you're basically going to get to the point where you outgrow the other person. If they keep coming at you, if they start taking things the wrong way and coming at you crazy, you're going to grow from that person. Even if at first you kind of were on the same page. But the key is to regulate yourself so much that you are not even attracted to those type of dynamics anymore. And it happens because I've been able to do this. I've been able to regulate my nervous system to the point where as soon as I saw the fear loop from this person, I knew at that moment that I couldn't control what this person thought of me, no matter what I tried to do or say. And so the best move for me to make was to just end it without having to explain myself, because no matter how much I try and explain, they're bringing me into the chaos. And I'm not even at that level anymore. Like, I don't even, like, if I see that I'm calm and I'm coming from a regulated place, and that person isn't, I'll just end it there. And I don't even need to explain myself. Because all that over explaining yourself, that even in itself is coming from a dysregulated place. And so now I'm to the point where I can actually regulate myself to just not even be in those situations anymore. So, why dysregulation attraction is familiar. So you have early attachment, which is usually emotional unpredictability. The body learned love as alertness. Chemistry becomes activation, not safety. If chaos felt like love early on, calm will feel boring until your system recalibrates. So, so trust me, it takes a lot of work and regulating yourself, because it does kind of feel boring at first when you're like, well, there's no butterflies, there's no intense feelings. Like, is this even real? But your body has to like recalibrate. And once you start to recalibrate, like, calm actually is the place that you want to be. So what regulated attraction feels like, it feels secure. It feels like embodied connection. And embodied connection is just people in their bodies being present in the moment and not in their heads all the time. Most of us are in our heads, either in the past or in the future. So anxiety is the future. And then you have all the fear comes from past loops, things that have happened to you in your past. So then you project these fears onto other people. So here's some sensations to go off of when you're actually regulated. So you feel grounded, you feel calm, you have like a steady interest, not like a high in the beginning when the love bombing happens and then it just tapers off. You actually keep a steady interest in this person when you're both able to regulate your nervous system. There's presence. So you're actually spending real time together and having real connection, which once you train your body to that, that actually feels so much better than this, every partner you get with, you have this high in the beginning and then it drops off and everyone's upset and blaming the other person for what's going on inside of them. But the thing is, our internal state is up to us. It's not up to other people. So when we actually regulate ourselves, that's when we stop attracting the people that are dysregulated. So once we get to that point where we're not attracting the dysregulated people, we start to attract more regulated people in our life. And then it just comes to like compatibility at that point. And it doesn't it's not a big deal, because people that are regulated, you can agree to disagree, and you can be like, okay, like this just doesn't feel aligned. And that's really how it should be, instead of everyone getting so hurt and disappointed. And it's okay to feel what you feel, but it's about feeling it and then actually getting to know yourself and figure out why you feel the way that you feel. Are you attracting from a place of dysregulation? And most of the time we are attracting from a place of dysregulation. Shoot, I did for 38 years. 38 years I was attracting from a place of dysregulation. And even up until 38 years old, I was still blaming the other person for, they didn't do this or that for me. But I was the one that was dysregulated too. So the more regulated I got, now I'm actually able to attract better and better people. And I'm able to not take the crap that I'm able to like cut off a situation quickly and easily, because I don't have the same attachment to it. Like, I've been able to basically have that unattachment, stay in the present moment and just see where the person is at. And if they can't meet you, then cut the energetic cord. So with your internal state, there's when it comes to being regulated, your internal state, basically there's no urgency. I'm not in a rush. I can actually spend days away from this person and be fine, because I'm focused on myself and I'm focused on my joy and what makes me happy. And so when I'm focused on myself and I stopped caring, and I actually had to work on that a lot last year, because I I had those feelings of when somebody wasn't texting or calling me that much. I had those feelings of like, do they actually like me? You know, all those different questions you have in your mind, but those come from wounds. And so I had to literally teach my nervous system that that I'm fine, like I'm safe. It doesn't matter, like it doesn't matter if somebody doesn't text me or call me, I'm still whole within myself. And I had to reiterate that to myself many, many times to finally get to this point now to where I don't even feel it anymore. I don't feel those. I would say that I don't feel those. I might see the thoughts come up, but I don't feel it like I did before. So I'm able to see the thoughts and just like let it pass by, if that makes sense. Because the more that you teach your brain and your nervous system and rewire it, you actually are able to basically, you know, have that ease in your body. You don't have the urgency, there's no overthinking. And I used to be a huge overthinker. No urgency, no overthinking, no fantasy loops, clarity over confusion. You start to see real clear, you know, where the other person is at. So regulated attraction doesn't hijack your nervous system. It invites you to go into your body and be in your body. So why regulated love can feel underwhelming at first. So we basically normalized the discomfort. And I can say that even being in the Marine Corps for 14 years, I normalized the discomfort. And people saw me as like, oh, you're always happy. And like, how do you do it? And, you know, I'm thinking the whole time it's just a positive mindset. But I was bypassing all the subconscious patterns. I didn't even realize my body was just used to all of the stress that I don't even know how I did it. It was like I was in survival mode, but I was able to be positive all the time for other people. But then when I'm going home to myself, I didn't know what to do with myself before. And so now I'm able to actually sit with myself and dialogue with myself, because here's the thing, once you start actually dialoguing with yourself, you separate your ego from yourself, because you are not your ego. All of those, it's not a flaw. So conditioning that comes in your mind and all the fear loops and all the things that you think about that are negative, those can be changed. They can be rewired. So the nervous system is detoxing from adrenaline. Oh, so why regulated love can feel underwhelming at first. So the nervous system is detoxing from adrenaline, basically. Calm can feel unfamiliar. Safety can actually feel quiet. Peace can feel like something is missing at first, so because your nervous system has to actually recalibrate. So peace feels boring to a dysregulated nervous system until it learns that peace is connection. So you have to teach your body what connection should feel like, because especially if you were used to connection, not being there really growing up. And I know that's how my household was. I could say that I grew up in an emotionally neglected household. And so it's funny because as I got older, the different people I dated, it was like I always wanted peace. Like I was like, I don't like drama, this and that. I just want peace. But I was just bypassing so many things. And I realized in myself that I wouldn't be telling somebody how I actually felt, and it would just build up and then it would blow up. And so I had to realize that in myself. And I used to think that it would get to the point where it's like, dang, like they're purposely trying to push my buttons. But no, this is just how the universe works. They mirror everything, the person that you are with mirrors everything in you that you still need to accept about yourself. So if you haven't been able to accept certain things about yourself, they either mirror. So this is the two different things I've seen, especially being conscious of my mirrors. So being conscious in the last year of my mirrors, I've seen people that mirror that what am I trying to say? Okay. Feel unfamiliar. Desire hasn't caught up yet. Nervous system is recalibrating. This phase isn't settling, it's rewiring. How to shift attraction patterns. All right, so let's just get into this. So, how to shift your attraction patterns. So, you pause the attraction and you ask, do I feel calm or do I feel compelled? Track the body, not the story. So, you want to feel in your body. If there's tension, there's dysregulation within you. If there's ease, then there's regulation. So, you always have to pay attention to your body in these interactions. Slow everything down. Speed is a trauma tell. So anything that's moving too quickly is from a wound. And so safety moves slowly. And this is the thing. We might be able to think in our heads like, oh, well, I'm safe. But your body doesn't feel safe. I promise you, when your body is dysregulated, it is in fight or flight mode. And when you constantly keep your body in fight or flight mode, and you're constantly searching for somebody to be doing you wrong, or and that's the thing. I got really good at seeing other people's patterns and like manipulation and stuff like that. But when you're really truly energetically sovereign, it doesn't matter what their motives are, because it doesn't affect you. You're not leaking energy. So the best thing to do is move slow. If you see that you're moving too fast with somebody, slow it down, set that boundary. And if they get upset about it, then that tells you right there that they're not for you. So you got to be able to move slow and just let things unfold naturally. Regulate yourself and then let your body recalibrate. And that's the thing too, when you when you first meet a person and you start to hang out too much, you're basically meshing energy fields, and the polarity is off already. And so your body needs time to actually spend a little bit of time around the person and recalibrate itself to really feel like, how does this feel in my body? And as soon as people start to do this with yourself, you'll start to see a difference in who you're attracting and who you're attracted to. So you can still be attracting certain people, but how do you react to the people that are that are trying to hit on you? Like, to me, the people that I used to be attracted to, I could look at some people right now and be like, oh, he has a nice body and he goes to the gym. But I can hear the wounds coming out of his mouth. Like, so once you get to this point where you're like regulated and you're able to keep yourself regulated and you're seeing people clearly, you start to see everybody's wounds coming out just by the way that they're talking. So it's just interesting getting to this point. And I don't think I'm better than anybody. Like, I just think I've done a lot of work to get to this point, to where I'm just going to keep going. Like, I'm just going to keep working. And I know it's going to get to the point where, like, the only people that can even, like, energetically enter my field are people that are regulated as well. And so that's how this works. So I'm going to give you guys like a closing integration. When you regulate your nervous system, your attraction recalibrates. So you don't lose chemistry, you gain stability, depth, and real intimacy. So when you slowly build the polarity, that's how the polarity stays intact, and you're actually able to have a long-lasting relationship with somebody. Not these relationships that people are just like basically sucking it up through and they're both unhappy. I mean, an actual long-lasting relationship where you're actually happy with the other person is because you're able to actually regulate your nervous system and continue to do the things that you love. Another big thing that a lot of us do is we sacrifice ourselves and our wants for the other person when they never even asked us to do that necessarily. So I mean, some might have been in that controlling nature and tried to change you, but that should show you right there that that's not for you. So both people should be in a point where they can regulate their nervous system and do the things that they like, that they enjoy doing, so that the polarity can stay intact. So if your attraction patterns are changing and it feels confusing, that's growth, not loss. So unless you guys have some questions, I'm going to end that there today. But yeah, you guys have a great rest of your day. And tune in next Friday for the next topic. I'll be posting that on my Facebook. So, all right, let me end this. I gotta stop this on everything. TikTok.